think maybe if I had like a little cylinder. To push against, you know, I need like a something to back that piece up. Like the socket. Alright, so I got a little socket right here. And I'm going to drop this in here like that and give my pliers something to press against so that when I close down the pliers, it's not actually squeezing the plastic, it's only squeezing, you know, just a little bit around the thing that's in the way here, because the sides aren't strong enough to support what I'm about to do. So that sounds strange, but I hope I'm making myself understood. Right there. And then it's not quite long enough. That's the right idea. It's not quite long enough. Go get a different one. Alright, I got one now. This little metal doohickey right here pulled out of the plastic, so it's got teeth around the edge of it so that it'll stick in place. And there's a similar one right here, but this one, when the drone hit the tree, it pulled this piece of metal out. So all I have to do is push it back in, and it should mostly stay. Okay, but I can't grip around the sides because the sides are not strong enough to, you know, accommodate somebody pulling on them. So what I'm going to do is drop this socket right here. That'll allow me to, you know, squeeze down on that piece without getting in the way of the sides, or having the sides get in the way of me. So we'll see what that looks like. Almost got it. This is really hard to film, by the way. This is a tough thing. Anybody who does how-to on technical stuff like this is, I have a new respect for, because this is difficult to do. Alright, so I need to, there we go. I got it. Push that sucker in there. Now it is practically flush. Right on. Alright. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put the screws on that thing back. Get that thing reconnected the right way. I got to pull the... there's an antenna that goes down that leg. Make sure that's up and out of the way, which it is. Now, so the screw that went in here for that leg, I'm actually not going to put that back. And the reason I'm not going to put it back is because all it's going to do is, if I put it back, it's going to try to pull that piece of metal out that I squeezed back in there. And you see it's not quite 100% flush, but it's close enough for what I'm doing here. Next step is to take a look at this part. This part is the part that is bent badly. And so this is the part that I think I need to straighten the most. And I'm going to straighten this one first because I think I can make it a lot straighter than I can make the bottom part. And then I'll work on the bottom part as I go. In other words, I'll use this once I've straightened it because I'll have something to compare it to. You know, I can compare it to the straightness here and then, you know, model that after this. Notice that, you know, one of the strange things about this, the motors, I don't know if you can tell in the video here, but the engines here, the motors, are not exactly straight up and down. They're actually tilted some. And that one's tilted this way. And then this one is actually tilted that way. That my guess is that the brain knows how, you know, it has that tilt on the motors has to be part of the programming. So if I don't get that part of it right, then most likely this thing will not fly straight. It looks like we have, now that I'm taking a closer look at some of this damage, it looks like I have that right there was one of the screws that didn't want to come out, and it looks like the screw's still in there. So I may have to pull that screw out right there and just not have that piece of metal. Looks like this one's cracked too. So that's going to be a challenge. What that means is that I'm not going to be able to use those two screws to hold this thing together. Looks like we'll be able to have one at the tip, and looks like that one right there is probably still going to be fine. No, actually that one's busted too. Well, no, that one goes into the plastic. It looks like that might be okay. That one might be okay. We'll see. I have a guess that when I go to put this back together, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm probably going to put duct tape around it. It's lightweight and should hold it together enough to get a couple shots off. We shall see. Alright, next step. Now, all I have to do is take the top here. I'm going to take the bottom chassis, set it aside, and now I can work on this piece. And I guess I could kind of lay it out. I didn't do this last time. Kind of look at it and see kind of where it's bent, and it is pretty bent. So I gotta bend it in here on the sides. Take the old hair dryer I stole from my wife. See what we can do.
One of the things I did last time that seemed to worked out well is kind of just going little at a time and you know, going slow and putting the thing back together kind of as I went. I didn't do as much tweaking on the bottom half as I did on the top half last time, so maybe if I can get this lined up right, and I just kind of, it seemed to really be the bottom or the top half where most of the bending took place. And that right there, it's already looking better. This part over here is pretty, that part's pretty solid looking. Let's put a propeller on it. Alright, still touching, still hitting. So it still needs more. Like I need to bend the bottom part. So back apart. You know, the top half here is not very strong, so it sort of makes sense that however the bottom is kind of gonna do more to dictate the angle of the arm. Let's get the heat to it. That really is looking pretty good. Use my pliers here to kind of press some of the kinks out of it. The kinks actually drawing up the plastic to make the whole thing worse. So let's see what that looks like with the top on. Make sure I get the right way around. It's easy to tell which way it goes because there's only one way that's pulling and damaged. Hey, look at that. Look at that. That don't look too half bad. So if I put that on. Haha. Now, curiously, if I take, one of the things I noticed is that when the adjacent propellers point at each other, look at that, right there, they line up, and then line up over here. That's pretty close. Alright, All I gotta do now is put the GPS, hook up the GPS, put the shell back on it, put some screws in it, and then hopefully it'll fly. We'll see.